which will be transmitted to the brain. If this transmission is not done, nothing goes to the brain. In other words, the person, the subject, is completely deaf. Okay? So if this machine does not work, it will be for other way of correction. We'll see that. Okay, it's just anatomical details. Then, after the ear, the signal goes to the brain. So it comes from the ear, there, and then it goes to the brain. To the brain, it is received on the side of the brain, on the temporal part of the brain. And there is, on this part, frequency organization like we have in the ear. And all the way, it is organized in frequencies. And then it is interpreted by the brain, which is another matter. Okay? So you know it's rather complicated because we have 6 nerves going from the ear to the brain, which is twice the number for the sensation, for the sensitivity. For the sensitivity, we have only 3 nerves. And for motricities, for moving, it is only 2 nerves. So this is very complicated. And 80% of the fibers, which should have a double B, just change of side, they just cross. And 20% goes direct. Why? Don't ask me. Is it just a transmission? Don't ask me. There are probably some signal processing which is done in there, and this is part of the research which is done today. So you know, it is very complicated in itself. Well, to sum up what we've seen before, we can say that it goes from the cochlea to the brainstem, and then it is all the different anatomical structures which are between the ear and the brain. It is not an anatomical lecture, so we won't detail this, but you know, with what we are going to see now, it could be a full lecture of 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks, I don't think I would have enough time to do all of this. So just want to focus on the main ideas, if I can do this. I hope I will. Then, what do we mean by someone who is deaf? Is it someone, after talking sometime we say that, well, it's funny. That fellow does not react normally. He may be a little bit deaf. Or it could be someone, you just shout, just don't move, you just hear nothing. So you know, between a little deafness and a total deafness, you have all the range. And that makes the difficulty in assistive technology. It's the same with walking. You have someone walks, just limping a little bit. Said, well, when he walks, he's not absolutely normal. And you have, on the other side, someone who cannot move, is in a wheelchair. So you have all the graduation between all of this. So that makes assistive technology very complicated because we have to deal with a very wide range. So that's what is defined by the ENT people, you know, the ORL MDs, and you just said that what we can say is, what we can say is if it is before 70 degrees of deafness, it is for the normal hearing aids, and then it is for cochlear implants. We will say a few words on these systems later on. Then, along the snail, along the labyrinth in the ear, what we saw before, you know, the spiral organization, we have a kind of organization, again, of frequencies, and at the bottom of the stairs of this spiral, we have the high frequency, and at the top we have the low frequency. We say that it is like a piano. It means that the vibration which are transmitted by the ear. According to the level, they keep the frequency. So the frequency is kept all the way from the beginning, from the ear, from the inside of the ear, up to the brain, where we have also a frequency representation. Why? Don't know. Ask God, but don't ask me. The basilar membrane, it's vibration. That's very interesting. Well, if I am nasty, I would say to both of the students with resonances, electrical resonances or mathematical resonances, digital resonances. So, you know, it is this. And, well, the organ of Corti, which make the transmission, which make the conversion between the the physical vibration into the chemical stimulus, is in this, what we call the cochlear duct, where we have the organ of Corti. OC means organ of Corti. Well, as you may imagine, we can spend hours playing, well, it's not a game for everybody, with the mathematics. And for this, we can say that first we have a captor, which take the air vibrations. And then we have some electrical engineering stage. Electrical engineering, it's of course amplification, filtering, automatic gain control, sampling. We can play a lot in mathematics with all of this. And then, after we have made this first transformation of the signal, we have to make the analysis of the signal. So you have what are the frequency in there, so the Fourier transform, frequency Gaussian, spectrum correction, so on and so on. So you know, we have quite a lot to keep busy the students who are working with this. And after this, when we have done this, we have to restitute the signal, after transferring the signal, for the ear to try to beat the modification in the nature, the deafness which is there. So after we have played with the spectrum, we have to restitute the signal. So of course, we have the way back, which is what is in there, so you know in this. So if we see this, we have in fact two kinds of deafness. Someone, well, is deaf, but if you speak more loud, he will hear. Said, okay, you're deaf, just speak more slowly, first, and second, speak louder. Okay, fine, I can hear, fine. There is another one, you shout, and he does not hear anything. So it's because the organ of Corti does not work, and the conversion of the vibration into the chemical is not done. So, no way. But it's very simple. If someone, you just have to shout, okay, just make an amplification. If, for the other one, the transformation between the acoustical to the electrical signal transmitted to the brain, electrical, chemical, because the nerve, it's both, you just replace it. So you know, basically, it's simple. Amplify one side, replace on the other side. But it's more or less the same. So if we come to this slide, we can see that first we play with the signal. So amplification, automatic gain control, and so on. And then you have here the sampling, the analog to digital conversion. So it is the sampling. So it means we cut the signal, and when the signal is cut, it goes to the mathematics where we make a fast Fourier transform. In other words, we calculate the spectrum we saw for the vowels, the general spectrum. And then we have two ways. We have this way, which would be for cochlear implant. It's when the organ of Corti is broken, where nothing is transmitted, so where we have to replace it. And we have also this way, it is, okay, the fellow is hard of hearing, so if we amplify, we do this. But if we amplify, well, at my time, when I was a student, it was electronic amplifiers, but now, of course, it is digital technology. So we go to when the signal, the spectrum is calculated, it is then adjusted to, this is for when we have to shout, you know, for people who are hard of hearing. So then we have to adapt the signal to the deafness of the patient, because there are some frequencies he cannot understand. Also, he cannot separate the frequencies, and then when we have corrected the spectrum, we have to restitute the vibration of the air, the signal. So we have an inverse fast Fourier transform. Then we have, of course, a power stage, because nothing works without powers. And then we go to the earphones, which is restitution. On the other hand, when the spectrum lines are done, we won't go back to the acoustic signals. So we have to make the log conversion, which is more or less seen by the physiologist in the ear. And then we have to transfer this to the patient by air transmission, as we will see later on. So you know, it's more or less the same. Well, as I say to my students, it is the same, but there are some differences. So everything is similar apart from the differences. As we say in France, La Palisse, who is the French referent for what is obvious, would have said that, but okay, we can see it here. So we have, that's the main assumption, what we have as a signal, what we have before. So let's go quickly to this. You know, we go to the Fourier analysis and then the transformation we've seen before. About signal processing, we have 3 dimensions. We have the spectrum, which is the frequency representation. We have the amplitude, what is the amplitude of each frequency in the signal, and then what is the evolution with time, because of course what we said 1 hour ago won't be valid for now. So you know there is a time dimension. So we can say that it is a 3D representation. So if I start like this, you understand that many mathematics can come after that, and can come behind. Gosh. This is for people who are familiar with the signal analysis. This is numerical analysis. So you know, we can say that the signal, the vibrating signal, is something which is flat, which is constant amplitude, and then it is sine waves and cosine waves, which is sine wave and cosine wave are the same, but they are just not with the same